Hey everybody, welcome to Static Realms Hangouts. I'm ElecTrish, and tonight we have some really great new music videos to show you, and I'll be speaking with Roland from Violentene a little bit later on. So first up, we have a music video from an artist called Nights. And this song, Boom Bang Boom, gets stuck in my head like crazy, and you'll see why when you see the music video and you hear the track, because it is so danceable and so much fun. It even has a special cool little puppet in there. So this is a treat. Enjoy Nights, Boom Bang Boom. Boom bang bang bang. All right, that was Knights and Boom Bang Boom. Gotta love that. And I love those puppets. So much fun. Up next, we have a word from Nakatomi Freefall on their newest music video, Hurricane Girl. So we're going to hear from them, and then we're going to watch the music video for their newest single, Hurricane Girl.
Hey, it's Corey and Margie from Nakatomi Freefall, and we're just here to talk about our newest single so far, Hurricane Girl, which will be being played tonight by Trish at Static Realms, which we really appreciate. It's kind of like our broadcast debut of it. So we're here at a beach in Comox, so we just figured this would be a good spot to talk about it. Yeah. And there's an airport nearby, so if you hear helicopters and stuff, we're okay. So.
Sure. Hurricane Girl is a very powerful song, and for me, actually, it really resonates. When I put it on, I dance around. I drive a little too fast, breaking a lot of bylaws. The reason I love it is because it really talks about female empowerment and just about breaking down the marginalism of what women go through. And I mean, as someone who has been in a position where I made less money as my counterparts for many years, and as somebody who, has been treated differently because of my lifestyle and that kind of thing, I've got to say it is a very powerful song, and it means a lot to me. And I think when it was written, it was definitely out there for our daughters.
Yeah, and, entirely.
It really resonates for both of us, actually, as we both have daughters, and that's a scary thing. We're both really trying to raise them to be independent, strong women, and I think we've done pretty well, actually.
Just for the record, I'm not crying here. It is a sunny
you're not
day.
Crying. We were just cutting onions.
I'm not crying. You're crying.
No. He was cutting some onions. Threw it on the sushi.
No. So, and for me and my part in writing it, a lot of it was just I know so many amazing women, and I mean, and that moves to the synthwave scene too. Like, I was drawn to a lot of the female performers, and they just say fuck it, right? And they just do their thing, and it's really, it just comes off so powerful. And I realize that women in general get underestimated a lot and just sort of put in this box, and that's, we just wanted to, but we didn't want to take ourselves too seriously either, right? So that's why we did kind of the fun, kind of like home shot video that you're about to see. Well, it's not home shot. It's not like done on a 1988 VHS tape or anything.
Yes, it was.
Yeah. Oh yeah, okay. So.
Don't give away our secrets.
So yeah, thanks again for showing it on Static Realms. We love the program. We had a blast watching Synthmania, and we're looking forward to Synthmania 2. And we will talk to you later. Thanks again.
Peace.
All right, that was Nakatomi, Freefall, and Hurricane Girl. Up next, we are very pleased to show you guys a really cool resurrected new wave band from the 80s. Their heyday was in the 80s, and they are still making music together. So they are called Basic Elements, and they are just the coolest band. They sent us in a music video for their third release for the song Scream for Love. But before we play the music video, we want to show you guys a special little history on the band. So let's check that out.
A Phoenix area group, the local rock band Basic Elements. I gotta tell you, those youngsters are determined.
We started this band as a coping mechanism. Back in Arizona in 1984, if you were a dude listening to Duran Duran, wearing eyeliner, shoulder pads, and women's clothing, you got your butt kicked. So Basic Elements was our way of leveling the playing field.
Basic Elements!
Basic Elements!
Basic Elements!
I guess it was kind of a creative outlet for us and the frustration of getting beat up all the time.
In the 80s, in the desert, it was a different time, a different place. It seemed to be the perfect recipe.
Our very first song that we played was at the Shadow Mountain High School talent show, and it was New Year's Day by U2. You know, we decided to pick a cover first to get the audience into it and excited. And then we hit him with an original. Like right after we did New Year's Day, it just stopped and people were like, yeah, New Year's Day, you too, woo! And then we hit him with Hide, and John went in there with his keyboard. Ding, 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 ding. I think at first they couldn't tell if it was another U2 song or what. So they were into it. They're like, yeah, more U2. And then, you know, I think everybody realized it was our song after that.
And that was kind of the beginning of our crazy adventure.
The Arizona State Fair in 1985. Our manager got us a slot playing outside the Veterans Memorial Coliseum right after the Howard Jones show let out. So you had, 17, 18,000 people filing out. Good, 1,000, 1,500 stopped to see who the new wave band was playing outside. It's the same kind of music. It spoke to the crowd. Teenagers who felt different and were made to know we were different by the way we dressed and looked.
The premise of Hide was keeping your individuality sacred, just being yourself 100%, and we had a great time.
They kind of embraced us. Said, wow, there's somewhere we can fit in where we can be normal and be ourselves.
We wrote it as a reaction to feeling different and being othered by groups of people that had more power than us. That's something very close to our hearts because before we started this band, we were getting beaten for being different. Today, that message is just as relevant. You'd think things would be different, but they're not.
Here we are, 35 years later, doing it again.
Hide was our first song that we wrote when we were 16 years old. This was kind of our fight song. Hide from your leader.
All right, so it is our pleasure to show you guys the newest single and music video from Basic Elements, the coolest band from the 80s, and this is Scream for Love.
Yeah, this says Zoom. This little dealer right there. If you wanted to zoom in on people.
This next song we wrote, it's called "A Scream for Love."
scream for love.
Thank you.
All right, so that was the awesome band Basic Elements, and the footage you saw at the end of the music video is from their 35-year reunion tour that they played just before the pandemic. So they are still awesome, still making great music, and you guys should definitely check them out if you've not heard more of their music yet. It's basicelementsmusic.com is their website, so definitely check them out. Up next is another band that we love called Tryad, who you saw playing during our Synthmania festival. They have a music video from the past called On the Road Again, and it is really awesome because it's like a post-apocalyptic video game. So get your coins ready. This is Tryad's On the Road Again.
On the road again, travel with my friends. It's a long way down the avenue. Look for something new. I'm just burning out.
right, so that was Tryad and their song On the Road Again. Such a cool video. So up next, I am going to be bringing out an awesome artist. He's from the band Violentene. His name is Roland. So let's bring him out. Hey, Roland, how are you?
Hey, Trish. How are you guys? Good to meet you.
Good to meet you
Doing
too.
well.
Thank you so much for being on.
Thank you for having
I
me.
know that, of course. I know that Violentene is actually a duo, and you have a new singer, Mary Jo, and her voice
Yes.
is beautiful, by the way. All right, so how did you two meet and get started with Violentene?
So, yeah, it's a bit of a story. It feels like it's been 10 years already, but with COVID kind of, stretching time into weird dimensions, we actually met at the end of 2019, November 2019 to be exact, here in Ottawa, Canada. Prior to that, I was working with a vocalist in New York City named Danny Marie, who's fairly well-known collaborator on a whole bunch of different projects. And we had done 2 EPs together, Phantom Youth and Denial, 2017 and 2019, respectively. And then that sort of came to a close at the end of 2019. And I kind of felt like I wanted to work with somebody not remotely in a different country. It was great, but there was a lot of challenges not being able to collaborate in person and work with somebody in the same room. So we kind of parted ways very, graciously and as friends. And then I started to hunt around. Didn't think I could find anybody in Ottawa because it's not a big city. It's not Toronto. It's not Montreal. But lo and behold, through some mutual musician friends, I connected with Mary Jo through a buddy, and he said, "You've got to check her out. She's cool. Her voice is awesome, and she's into the kind of stuff that you're looking for." So I was like, "What? In this city, in Ottawa?" And so we connected over coffee and ended up chatting. Went from like a half-hour coffee chat to like a 3-hour conversation, and we just got along and hit it off. And I kind of knew, okay, she's great, and that was it. She sent me an MP3 of some stuff that she had done, some cover stuff, and was like, "Yes, this is going to work." And from there, I sent her some rough mixes of music that I had already done, like 90% written songs, and said, "Do your thing, write melodies, write vocals, and we'll go back and forth." And that's basically how it came together.
Well, it came together really wonderfully because you two have such a dynamic sound, and I just love the sound. I had heard your music prior to hearing the newest track, which we're going to be playing later, but I think it's so nice that you have the female vocalist, but you're also on the tracks playing, and you have your vocals, and it just is such a nice combination to your music. So I love it.
Cool. Thank you. Appreciate that. It's always been a challenge because I've always been drawn to female vocalists. I don't think there's been a project I've done that hasn't had female vocals. So it's always been the feminine side of the projects has always been very strong. And I don't know. I don't like my vocals particularly. And if it's a guy singing, I'm really, really picky. So I've always been drawn to that aspect in our music. So it's always been important to find just the right kind of vocalist for what we're doing. So I think we got lucky.
Yeah, definitely. And how would you describe Violentene's sound to a new listener, to someone who has never heard your music before? How would you say it sounds?
That was tricky because when I was writing the press release, the 1-page bio to put out when we were getting all the promo stuff together for this EP, it's like, okay, it's always a challenge for artists. What do you call yourselves? Like, and I know people come up with all kinds of crazy different, descriptions, but I would say like as an umbrella sort of term, I would say we're sort of a moody synth pop, dreamy dark wave duo.
Yeah.
Is sort of the best way that I could describe it, because we're not, specifically dark wave. We're not specifically goth. We're not shoegaze, although we used to be. And so we still carry a bunch of those old vibes. We bring that with us still. So there's still some guitar, really lush ambient guitar stuff that I've always been attracted to. But now it's either not on every song, or it's lower in the mix, so it's not as in your face. Yeah, I guess we're sort of under that umbrella of like dreamy synth pop.
Yeah, it's a great style, a great sound. And it's so nice to hear that there are still duos and bands like this making great music out there. And I just can't wait to hear your EP that's coming out in October.
Thank you. Yeah,
Delusions is your first single from the EP. And I think it's just so exciting. I love it.
Cool. Thank you. Yeah, we're excited to get it out. It was the first song that we wrote together, Mary Jo and I. And it's something I had the music done maybe 6 months prior. So we're talking way back 2019. Yeah. And so it feels like it's been such a process. And it always is, by the time you do the writing, do the back and forth, the editing, and then, do the final mix and then revisions of the mix and then the mastering, it's like, bang, a year has gone by or a year and a half has gone by. And then we didn't know, like we actually probably could have gotten it out last year. But with, the chaos and the disarray of COVID, we just kind of felt if we rush it and put it out now, it's just going to disappear into this crazy void. And we don't know, because we're not that well known, honestly, like we don't know if it's just going to literally disappear. And we can't play shows to back it up. So it really felt like most artists, like it was good to wait and see what was going to happen. And, when things start to open up, that would be a good time to start really pushing things.
That's awesome that you stuck with it. And, now you have something that you're being able to release to the world. And I think it's great timing because, like I said, it's a very unique sound. And I think there's not a lot of duos or groups out there that are like you guys. So I am definitely a fan.
Cool, thank you.
Of course, yeah. Do you have any plans to tour together when you're able to, or, to promote the EP?
Yeah, absolutely. So touring plans, it'll probably start off because the initial incarnation of Violentene, because we were living in different countries, it made it difficult, if not impossible, to tour or play shows. So we're going to start off slowly and do single shows, one-off shows for now when we can. Things in Canada are still a little iffy as far as shows. Like things are starting up. Looks like, tours are coming in September, October, hopefully, fingers crossed. So we're going to be doing some backup slots, hopefully opening for bigger artists and going forward from October, through winter. Looks like.
That's great.
Yeah.
Can I ask, where did you end up filming the Delusions music video?
Yeah, well, I have to preface the video with a big shout out to our DOP, cinematographer and editor, Ben Dion, who did an amazing job. And he's a friend of mine from work. And he did everything for free. And so I did some of the car shots, some of the filming of my moving car. So it was a real DIY, no budget video. Basically shot around Ottawa, the downtown core, parts of Chinatown, in some parking garages in downtown Ottawa. Where else did we shoot? Under a bridge, close to the market area, sort of the tourist area in Ottawa, and in Chinatown. So yeah, like 3 or 4 locations that we just kind of went crazy. We tried to storyboard it and come up with this concept, and then we just thought, well, it could be really cheesy if we try to come up with a real, like a storyline. So let's just try and make it artsy and cool and do a lot of visual eye candy and try to, try to pull it together in post. And hopefully it worked out. I think it turned out pretty cool.
It definitely did. I think you did it really well. And it has that kind of flair of an older music video from like the 90s or the 80s, but it also has a very modern feel to it as well. So you guys did a great job. Really
cool.
Nice.
Yeah, Ben did a really good job, and because we, kudos to him. We just gave him all the footage and said, "Go crazy. Here's a really rough storyline, and let's just do a lot of crazy VHS and glitch effects and some speed ramping." And he kind of pulled it together. And he had a very tight time frame. I think he had, maybe 5 or 6 days to sort of get it together for this week for you guys and for YouTube and whatnot. So yeah, it was fun. Yeah,
I love the song itself too. The lyrics are really great, and your writing process, do you normally start out with the writing and then sort of have the melodies afterwards, or how does that work?
Usually the way it could change going forward now that we have a better dynamic and we know each other better. But typically it started with the music, and I would write, 90% or 100% of the tunes and then hand them over to Mary Jo. And then she's, written the melodies, written the vocal melodies, and written the lyrics. Occasionally I'll have like a little bit of lyrical input, but usually it's that's not an area I would really want to impose too much. And then she calls me on musical stuff, which is really cool too. Like, this part's too busy, or there's too many notes, or it's getting in the way of the vocal. So I'll pull back, and usually that's the way it's been going, sort of a back and forth process. But I try not to overcomplicate it, because I don't mean a virtuoso on any of this stuff. I'm really like a synth guy and a guitar player that tries to create ambience and space and vibes, rather than crazy virtuoso stuff. That's not our thing at all.
Yeah. What was it like in your past? I know you were in a couple of bands, like Liquefied and Politique.
Yes.
What was it like going from being in a band to sort of your own two-person team as an artist? What was it like going from that?
It's interesting because we kind of went full circle, because I did a project in the 90s, another shoegaze project called Venus Swirls that nobody knows about. And it was two of us. It was me and a female vocalist, and we were really into stuff like Cocteau Twins, Dead Can Dance, and all the Project Records artists. So and that's how we started as a duo. So, and then we went forward and we built it up into a trio, and then 4 people, and then Liquefied started, and that blossomed into like 5 people, and then Politique was a 4-person thing, and that was more of like an indie new wave kind of project. But the more people that we added to the projects, like, it was a full sound, and it was cool live, because there it was like truly more of a live sound rather than playing with a lot of backing tracks. But ultimately it was always a little more challenging with that many egos in the project, and everybody kind of wanting their say. And not that it ever got out of hand, but it was always more of a challenge trying to appease everybody and make everybody happy. And then so, when Politique folded in, like 9 years ago now, after that I was kind of like, well, what do I do now? And I just started writing like a lot of electronic music. So I had a project that was, very electronic, and then I had a project that was very shoegazy and post-punk and, very early 80s Cure type stuff. So I'm like, well, how do I take all these sounds and kind of blend them together? And that's in 2017. That's when I thought, okay, let's try something with, combining all those elements. And then that became Violentene.
Yeah, that's great. I think it's great to just combine every genre and all of your past, projects, sort of like a little bit of everything into one.
I think subconsciously you carry forward all that old stuff that you've done in the past, and you kind of distill it. And in the past, it felt a lot more scattered and kind of all over the place. And even on the last EP, I feel like, there's a couple tunes like Phantom Youth and Victim Effect that really nailed it. And then there's a couple that could have been on a completely different project or a different EP or an album. And then now it feels a lot more laser focused, and that really feels good. So I think when these singles come out and when the EP comes out, people will be like, oh, okay, it feels like a really cohesive package now. So I think we pulled things together a little tighter now.
So I'm curious what is in store for us with your new EP, Otherworld, that's coming out in October. Delusions deals with sort of a dreamlike, ethereal world. Are all of the tracks sort of in the same vein on the EP?
It's like I was saying before, it feels like this, the 5 tracks on this EP, we really pulled together the focus and it just feels a lot more of 5 songs that belong together. Initially we were going to do a 10-song album, and we thought, and possibly vinyl, and then we thought it's going to be another year by the time that's done, so we better get an EP out and just get some music out now. But basically, there's some common themes that run along all the songs. this sort of concept of going between delusional states of mind and reality-based, mundane sort of day-to-day life, and how we're all sort of trying to navigate these crazy times that we've been in, and how it's it can be quite difficult mentally to get through all these challenges that we've all been going through, and a lot of it's sometimes a lot of the focus of the songs were a yearning for the fantasy altered states of reality that we all want to escape our sort of boring everyday lives, and hence the title Otherworld. It's something that we're sort of trying to reach towards, another worldly sort of state of mind, sort of euphoria, if that makes any sense.
Absolutely. And I cannot wait to go there. So looking forward to that in October. And cool. Delusions is the first single from the EP, which we are going to be showing the music video for right now. So stay tuned for Delusions by Violentene. And thank you, Roland.
Thank you.
Hello, I'm Mary Jo from Violentene. Welcome to our video premiere on Static Realms.
Cool. Thank you. Thanks so much for playing it.
Thank you so much for letting us show it on our show. It's brand new and it's so wonderful. So great job.
Thank you so much. Thanks for playing it, guys.
Of course. And do you have any last words for the viewers or anything you want to say?
Just head over to Bandcamp, head over to Spotify, download the new single. It would mean the world to us, and any positive likes, feedback, comments, we appreciate it all, and it keeps us going forward. So any support is wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you so much to Violentene, Roland, and to Mary Jo. We're so happy to have you guys. So stay tuned for the EP in October.
Thanks, guys.